The shabby interior of Hope Townsend's extended stay motel room was as pristine as a scrubbed crime scene. If she survived her attempt to get her brother out of his cult, she wouldn't be coming back here. She'd planned 2 escape routes out of Wyoming. One took them to Washington State, the other to Maine. Both were a long, long way from the western region hub of the White Kingdom Brotherhood, but neither was fully out of reach of the WKB. Her mom had tried unsuccessfully to disappear like this. Once an enemy of the WKB, always an enemy. Hope pushed that from her mind, one step at a time. Her eyes settled on a folded piece of paper on the corner of the desk. She picked it up and read the 2 words it contained. Mad Dog, and farther down the page, King. Was King the name of the mysterious friend who'd helped her move light years ahead in researching her brother? If so, it was the only time he'd put his name to any of his correspondence. She stared at the names, trying to figure out if they were allies she should seek out or men to avoid. Her friend had been so cryptic. His emails showed up in her computer without any identifying metadata. No subjects, no sender information, no headers that showed where the email came from, and except for this note, no signatures. It was almost as if his emails had been composed right at her computer. She crumpled the paper and dropped it into the waste bucket, then immediately retrieved it. She'd cleared everything of hers out of the motel room. Best not to leave this behind. She shoved it into her purse, then stepped outside to her waiting truck. On the seat next to her was the manila envelope her friend had sent her. It contained everything she needed to make Hope Townsend disappear and have Hope Nelson take her place. It didn't include any papers from her brother Randall, but that made sense. She couldn't risk getting caught with them in her possession. If she was successful in getting him out of the WKB, she'd email her friend and ask for his help one more time. Hope drove across town to her storage unit and parked in front of the tiny bin. She switched out her old identity for the new one, the registration for her old Chevy truck, an insurance card, her driver's license and credit cards, even her birth control dispenser. Hope Townsend no longer existed. Welcome to her new reality, she thought, feeling both the same and different. She gathered the elements of her old identity and stowed them in the manila envelope. Almost as an afterthought, she took the wadded-up email from her friend and dropped it into the envelope as well, then locked all of her old self away in her storage unit. Maybe one day she'd be the old Hope again, or maybe this was the beginning of many new identities. Either way, she'd do what needed to be done to protect herself and her brother. She didn't want to die like her mother had, a victim of a WKB kill order. The roaring noise coming from the White Kingdom Brotherhood's clubhouse gave Max Cameron an uneasy feeling. Whatever brand of fucked up was going down over there, it drew members, prospects, and hangarounds like a magnet over metal shavings. He went to the opening of the club's old bike shop, standing in the ankle-deep weeds that poked through the crumbling concrete. A skinny biker was running toward him. "Mad Dog! Mads! You gotta come, quick!" Farrell, his personal hangaround, shouted and waved as he approached. Max grimaced. He'd offered to sponsor the kid, if he proved himself worthy of becoming a prospect. The gesture wasn't altruistic. He needed eyes and ears inside the organization, listening to the gossip that didn't always make its way to a fully patched member like him. "I mean it, Mads!" Farrell kicked up dirt as he came to a stop next to Max's Harley Panhead. Max groaned as pebbles pinged against metal. Judging by the look on the kid's face, the sound he'd made was more growl than groan. Farrell spilled his news in a rush of words. "They got fresh meat in the clubhouse. Some chick they're tearing apart." He grabbed Max's vest. "You gotta come, man." Max shrugged him off. "No, I don't. You don't either. Leave him to it." This wasn't his fight. The bikers could tear themselves to shreds for all he cared. He had a very specific mission to complete. Get their heroin tagged with radio frequency identification, infiltrate their IT systems, and get into the silo complex to map the damned thing. So far, he'd made little progress on any of those fronts. Disappointment cut through Farrell's eyes as he glared up at Max. The kid shook his head, then ran back into the fray.